Hi, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great time out there on Wednesdays. I know we are here. But welcome back, episode 97. Almost to 100. As crazy as it sounds. Last week, y'all had a rather interesting encounter with the Matron of Ravens herself. And
Yeah, that was fun.
decided to take a trip next up to the High Plains to see if you guys could get some more stuff taken care of and everything. And you all, I believe, were finishing on a long rest when we ended last time, after using the Wand of Sending to find out where an old friend of yours was after the Battle of Valerian. Also, hello, Megs.
Yay!
Yay! We get Frank back.
How'd you do it?
How you doing?
Man, it's wild. We haven't played with Megs in forever, but we haven't played with Henrietta in even longer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this is gonna be a real blast from the past.
Yeah, I think Henrietta's last episode was 2 years and a couple months and change. Because I think Henrietta left in like episode 14. Or stayed behind in Ilarion in episode 14.
Yeah. I think we still had Rook for one or two sessions after that.
Yeah.
Because Rook came to Roguewater with us and then didn't come to Karuri.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that handoff happened.
And you picked up Fair and Nymeria.
Yeah.
Yes! So you sent a couple messages to see if Henrietta would be interested in maybe a trip to the moon, maybe a trip to the upper plains. As you all are getting your long rest in, nothing bad happens. Y'all get your long rest in.
Am I with them yet?
No. They
Okay.
still haven't picked you up yet. I believe he said he was. I believe in game you said you were going to send another message in the morning if you guys were going there to.
No, I sent it.
Oh
yeah,
you did.
Night also,
you did send it that they were picking. Yeah.
Just asking where are you located? We have some questions about Pelor and Saloon. We might be going to the upper plains.
Yes. Yep.
We'll come to you and we can talk about it in person.
Yep.
So I imagine we'd just get up in the morning and have a quick breakfast and then, plane shift or tree stride or whatever.
Come to my hole.
Tree stride and then teleport via plants.
Off to the rabbit hole.
To Grove Rest and then Windwalk.
Sure.
Because that should get you guys there in about 2 hours. Because it's 300 feet? 600 feet. And per 6 seconds. So yeah, you guys can fly. So Henrietta, as you're hanging out in your hollow, you just see some really, really fast moving clouds just kind of circle overhead and then just kind of spiral down into the ground. And they slowly start taking the shape of 4 people. 3 you would recognize, although different in a little bit more well decorated than the last time you saw them.
I think our friends are here. I think they're outside. Oh, okay. Um, and she'll just put down her needle point she was working on, and we'll go outside.
Takes them. I think you would probably beat them, as because it takes a minute to change out of Windwalk. But yes, they would take the form of Dietrich, Barzu, and Emerus, who you've met, and then of course, Fair, who you've not in this moment. And then probably about 12 seconds after you guys like see and recognize Henrietta coming outside, you guys would have your physical form and be able to move here in this moment.
Oh. Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Dietrich.
Just pull Henrietta into a big hug.
It's
Oh,
been
we were so worried about you.
I was worried about me too. She pissed her pants at one point. Shut up, Frank. Troublesome times around.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
I am now. You know, the Dust King thought he could keep us safe, and, no.
I wanted to introduce Fair. It feels odd that you haven't met Fair yet. We met them right after you stayed behind.
Hello.
So we've all been traveling together for quite a while now.
Henrietta, then. I've heard about you. Good to finally meet you. I'm Fairfane, formerly of Mirament, scion of House Halliangim, and they will bow politely.
That's a lot of words you just said. And I'm usually really good with words. I'm Henrietta. This is Frank. He's very frank. You'll see the little red proto dragon on her shoulder. And this is my home.
Well, what have you been up to lately?
Well, you know, arcane imprisonment for 3 months was not fun. So then they sent us home. Well, they said we had the offer, you know, to go home instead of staying in Illyria in the library. So I brought some stuff. I don't know if you've noticed. Before that, though, I was, you know, things were really good, and Frank and I went on some, like, knowledge expeditions, I guess is the best way to say it. We went and stole a bunch of artifacts and books and shit.
Interesting. From where?
Everywhere. I've been to the Shadowfel. I've been to the Fey Realm. I've seen and done a lot of interesting things you wouldn't think a librarian would do.
I collected artifacts for a hobby for a while on my own, so I'd be curious to see if you've got anything. And I can no longer have my own collection, but...
And the thought hadn't ever crossed my mind about what a librarian would do. No idea.
Sarcastic as ever, Dietrich.
Also, question, does Henrietta's house have lots of, like, plants growing in or around it?
It's
Yeah, it's in a grove. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You would notice there's like a 10-foot dead circle of plants around Fair.
Interesting. My favorite color.
Oh, they grow back. Don't worry about that.
Sometimes I'd rather they didn't.
What, do you want me to take a walk around and kill your whole lawn?
Maybe not the whole lawn, but maybe around the door. Those get a little tricky. And then sometimes if I'm gone for periods of I almost couldn't find the door when I came home because everything was just green.
Sometime we'll have you run around a cornfield and make crop circles.
I've definitely thought about it. Maze of some sort. Or labyrinth.
Maybe around a certain holiday season.
Perhaps. I don't know, for fair, it's always wear pointy hats time.
For Henrietta, it's always wear black. We wear black on every day.
For Dietrich, it's always steal people's candy time.
It's accurate.
Oh, Farzu's now wearing black feathery armor and has wings.
Yeah, it's a little weird. You have like trouble like pulling them in properly right now. You're still getting used to it. So like one's kind of like half. Oh, it's like a German Shepherd when their like ears start perking up, where like you have one perfectly tucked in and one's just kind of like flopped half in.
Farzu's probably not even really trying. He's kind of flying. Having too much fun with the wings.
So, we're going to see gods.
Something like that, yeah. We've been on some adventures of our own. Not too long ago, we kind of accidentally found ourselves in the Nine Hells.
It was
Had
very
an
warm.
unfortunate encounter with the one whose name we don't say. He cursed us. And we were able to get out of there before he could really do some damage with it. But I gather that if we go back there, still cursed, he'll kill us.
Probably.
We need to get the curses removed before we can go back there. And we need to go back there. And apparently these curses are of a type that can only be removed by a god. And we were just in the Shadowfel, and the Raven Queen removed Farzu's curse. But only Farzu's. The other three of us still have
Sorry.
the mark on us.
Explains the attire. I quite like it.
Thank you.
It looks good on you, Farzu, although I never liked birds very much. Too much time at sea.
And at that, Farzu will just flutter towards Dietrich a little more.
I'm just thinking about seagulls. It's like, nope.
Mine?
'Cause I'm-
Seagull, stop it now.
I'm on the deck of a ship, and there's no cover. And if the seagulls start hovering overhead, everyone's getting pooped on.
Mm-hmm.
Most annoying creature in WoW.
Yes.
And real life,
Yeah.
honestly. Up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Up there with cobra chickens.
Those guys suck. Speaking from experience.
Yeah. Saddest bird though is our pigeons. Anyways.
Yeah.
But we've made all the asks to all the different
Oh.
deities that we serve, but the god of the sea can't help us, and the god of the drow can't help us, and we were thinking about Pelor and Saloon.
Well, that was when you said saloon. It intrigued me because the entire time I was imprisoned, um, my connection felt cut off. I couldn't feel or hear her. I didn't have my visions. I had nothing. I didn't have Frank because I had nothing.
I was using the wand to try to get in touch with you a bunch of times, but there was never an answer.
I never got them. Magical interference. Again, nothing. I was basically in a black hole, which you would think would be great for me, but but not so much for like 3 months. So I try not to think about that. I have Frank back again. I haven't had much communication with Saloon, but I would like to try.
Well, do you feel up to another adventure?
Yes, I know it's been a while with you guys, without you guys, but I have since then on my expeditions for knowledge for the library and the Dust King um, grown a bit more powerful, I feel, and less squishy and less like I'm gonna die every second of the day. I can do some really cool things now.
I've grown more powerful too, although Fair says I'm still squishier than ever.
Wasn't talking about combat that time.
Oh, sorry.
Frank just chuckles.
So when was the last time you've spoken with Saluna or heard from her?
When I returned here, it wasn't really until I got here the Dust King sent us, wherever we wanted to go, knowing that the city and the library was no longer safe. So I wanted to come back here, where I assumed it would be quiet, and it is. And when I got here and I opened the door, there was Frank. So that was at least a sign. And then that night when I went to sleep, the first good, nice sleep I'd had in months, I had the phases of the moon went through my mind, and she doesn't very talk. It's a bunch of pictures and things usually, but it was just a nice, warm, comforting feeling because I was kind of scared that she would have thought that I had abandoned her, and I just didn't have a choice. There was. Um. So yeah, so that was a couple of days ago. I just got here. I've just been, cleaning things up and preparing. I went and saw my my family. They're all fine. I have 17, 18 new nieces and nephews.
Family's been busy.
Well, they multiply like rabbits. I am the only one of the five who's been a little busy to not be busy. She just lets out a big sigh and just looks at all of you and just. You don't know Henrietta to like smile. And she is just like. This is a weird sight for you because she's just so like. Yeah. After the crap she's been through, it's just very. She's very happy to see you. She's actually like a little hippity hoppity, actually like a rabbit.
Well, I know Fair here has some talent for divination and has been known to speak with a god once or twice.
Luna did help warn us that a giant army of undead was marching on Merriment. But you're right, she did not speak, only showed me what she could see from the sky, I suppose.
Have you ever spoken to Pelor?
I've not tried yet. I fear he may not answer me. But Saloon did.
With that artifact you're carrying, I don't see how he can't answer you.
Only reason I'd consider trying in the first place. But should I do that now then, today? Or let Henrietta speak to Saloon first? It may at least have some things to catch up on.
Whichever's easier to get to? Question mark?
So
I believe I have all I need. For at least superficial asks of the gods. Which I don't know what sort of sacrifices they would prefer. Much more used to convening with Lolth or simply with the Fates.
I don't think your asks are superficial. Maybe just a little official.
Oh, I meant my offerings.
Well, whoever wants to go first, I suppose. We'll probably want to check in with both of them and see who can do this for us.
Miss Henrietta, why don't you try first, and I'll take care of the plants growing on your walls before we leave. Fair will walk over and just like run their fingertips along the vines and the walls of the house, just like withering them with a touch.
It doesn't really work. Okay, they're gone. Okay. I guess we'll try something new. And she'll just sit down on the ground, cross-legged,
Okay.
and close her eyes and just re-envision the phases of the moon she was sent a couple nights ago.
Okay. Do. You feel your vision pull back for a brief moment. And you see, for the first time ever, a silver ocean. And on it, this, in the middle of nowhere, just a random rock sitting out in it, and a tower on top of it glowing. And at the top of this tower, coming up straight from the needle, a thread up to the moon, going through the cycles you have seen. Almost not necessarily calling out to you specifically, but almost any follower of Saloon, like a beacon.
Henrietta will open her eyes. Well, I think that worked. Never tried that before. She usually just comes to me when I sleep. She showed me a silver ocean with a rock in the middle and a big glowing tower.
Has Fair read about any such place before?
I was gonna say all three of you could probably make religion checks. Or anybody with proficiency can make a religion check. Since two of you have numbers higher than God on that stat.
I am not proficient, but I can give it a try.
The little red filled in circle means I'm proficient. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's been too
It
damn
has
long.
been a while.
It's been a while.
Like, I'm pretty sure
26.
that's what that means. but I'm gonna
26?
ask.
Okay.
31.
24.
Okay. You all put your heads together for
Ow.
exactly. Thank you. For 30 seconds or so. It sounds like her realm, the gates of the moon on the Silver Sea.
Dietrich has some extra like nautical charts in his backpack, and he's just like unfolding maps looking for something called the Silver Sea. You're making that up. There's no such place.
Put those away, Dietrich.
Is this going to be one of those like plane shifty type things again?
I think so. I very much believe so. Can you guys do that?
Oh yeah, we can do that. We've done it before
Oh yeah.
a few times. It has never agreed with me.
Emrys
Although
will
I guess
pull out a cube.
we've only really been to like the Nine Hells, the Shadowfell. That
The deeper
part of
parts of the
under
Underdark.
Yeah, that part of the Underdark that's like really close to the Abyss.
Okay, I just
So
wondered.
maybe it's
Also the
just
Abyss
that
ones.
that's true, the Abyss wants. Maybe it's just true that going to shitty planes doesn't agree with me. I've never been somewhere good. No offense.
I just wondered because I personally I can't do that. There was always somebody else on the expedition team who could do that.
A
So you
Bub
were-
game, is it Fair or Farzu who has that?
Plane shift? I don't have it. Doesn't actually Emrys have it?
And Emrys does in fact have it. He also has the item.
Oh, MS.
And he has the cube, yeah.
Okay.
He has both.
Not the Monday cube,
Yeah.
the Wednesday cube.
The Wednesday cube.
So the cube is like 6 different planes, one of which is the materia plane that we can just go to automatically. It casts the gate spell for us.
Yes.
If
or
that's
plane
not-
shift.
But if this isn't one of them, then we'd need a tuning fork,
Correct.
I believe.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. We have
Which-
one for a
can-
plane
can
that we don't want to go to right now.
Yeah. But can a tuning fork just be anything from that
Yes.
plane?
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
That object we were speaking of earlier that you have.
Yes. As
Do you
far as I
know
know, it would have originated here. I'm not sure where else it's been.
Hmm.
Oh, I can ask it. And Fair will draw the blade and just sort of examine the light reflecting off of it for a moment to...
Would
Silent.
Henrietta recognize the blade? Because that's a conversation that I would love to be a fly on the wall for. Like, how the fuck?
Yeah, I would actually say, Henrietta, you watch Fair. Do you have it on your persons, or do you pull it out of your bag?
Probably out of their bag.
Yeah. Pull out of their bag and pull the blade of Dusk and Dawn, the lost weapon of Valerian, just out of their backpack.
Is that? No.
No, it's not.
Frank goes over and lands on their shoulder because he's like, bullshit.
Fair will try to ignore them for the moment and ask the sword if it's ever been to... Selûne has blessed you, as has Pelor, but have you been to their realms, or did they come to you?
They came to us to bless this blade and create it for me all those years ago.
I see. So, far as you know, you've never traveled beyond this realm except your adventures at my side.
Correct.
Do you have any fellow artifacts that might be able to guide us to the gates of the moon?
There's a lost artifact of the elves that's allowed planar travel.
Do you have a name or description? As I'm sure you've noticed, I'm very good at finding things.
He will proceed to describe the cube that Emerus has.
Ah, okay.
It could travel to many places, Mount Celestia and the shores of the Silver Sea being one of them. But traversing the sea is another thing entirely.
Interesting. All right.
Only Fair can hear this?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay.
So what were the 6 planes on the cube after material plane, or I guess
There's
there's Mount
5.
Celestia material plane, Underdark, Mount Celestia.
I will copy and paste it again.
Okay.
I should probably...
Sorry.
I probably should have pinned it last time. So that's...
Did you? Okay.
So that's my bad. I will pin it this time.
Okay. So we could take it to Mount Celestia and get to the gates of the moon that way?
You could get to the Silver Sea that way, yes.
The Silver Sea, okay,
Yeah.
then we would have to find. Alright.
You guys have
And Mount
kind of-
Celestia is where Pelor is,
So, no.
right? Oh, okay.
He
I
is-
misunderstood.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is in, and I think Aang actually had this right last time. Pelor is on Elysium, which is shares a river with the Beastlands. So you could plane shift to
Okay.
the Beastlands and get to Elysium. They're
Okay,
adjacent-
so
they're
either way,
adjacent
it's going to
planes.
be a journey.
Yes.
Oh. What did the sword that's definitely not the lost sword of Valerian tell you?
Mount Celestia should get us close enough, or about as close as we can manage. And from there, we would have to travel to the Silver Sea. But it would be reachable that way.
And we find Saloon on this rock in the middle of the Silver Sea.
I imagine so.
Well,
Henrietta,
I
are
happen
you
I
something
happen
of
to
your-
know it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, Henrietta, you're a cleric of the moon goddess, then?
Warlock, Celestial Pact. So not quite the same thing.
I see, different manner of relationship.
I could see how you would think that, but I feel being a priestess would require more care for human life than I have.
I felt the same way about Lolth's priesthood. Of course, I couldn't have joined it if I wanted to with how I was born, but I care too much for the life of others to be a priestess of Lolth.
I've
But-
actually dabbled in priesthood a bit of Umberly. Well, Umberly's priesthood's very different. We mostly just pray for her to ignore us.
Turn undead from time to time.
When I have to.
But it is handy.
It's so much more fun to just kill them though.
or
But it is
raise them.
amusing
Remember
that.
that like 2-session thing where you only used cleric spells?
Yeah, I was bad at it because I have 2 levels of cleric.
I was gonna say Dietrich's like everything.
Dietrich is 4 things, and they're all related.
Yes.
He's spoopy, ghosty sword guy.
Yes. Yes. Alright. Emerson X,
Well-
Wisp Plane.
Yeah, I think Emers's cube should be able to get us there just fine, and once we're there, I think I know a thing or two about traversing a sea.
So long as we have a boat to sail it.
Can we take a boat with us? Is there like a size limit on your cube? Oh.
Heard you can
Well,
get boats that fold up into little tiny paper boats.
How much capacity can your cube hold?
Oh, the cube can get all of us there, no problem. That's easy enough. Just opens a gate.
If we fold the ship up very small, like when they put it in the bottle.
Well, my ship is on the other side of the world right now, and I'm afraid it doesn't fold so easily.
Puppy! Puppy kisses.
Oh God, this is my baby. I am her human.
Aw.
Puppy.
Caramel is also underneath me, but T is her human, so she doesn't
Hmm.
mess with me unless she has to. I'm the only human home right now, so.
Ah. So they're gracing you with your presence temporarily.
Mocha usually doesn't
The other
leave
one?
me.
The other
It's
one.
usually like, can you go the fuck away?
Yeah.
Well, I think between the 5 of us, we've got enough solutions for flying and levitating and turning into mist and whatnot that
Mhm.
getting across an ocean shouldn't be terribly
Impossible.
difficult.
So long as Miss Henrietta is able to guide us.
And maybe there's an enterprising business person in Mount Celestia who will rent us a boat.
Maybe.
Just look at Kara while I have her.
No.
Gate to Mount Celestia?
Sure. There we'll sheathe the Blade of Dusk and Dawn and put it, like, at their hip to carry there.
You'll turn the cube, lock it into the plane, and press the button, and a 15-foot portal will appear. Straight out of Endgame.
Impressive.
In my head, the portal cube looks like my fidget cube.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It has like 4 blocks on each side, and you have to rearrange it to match the symbol to
Oh, like a
slide.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, kindly, yeah.
I was thinking of the fidget cube with
yeah.
like the little
Oh, yeah.
buttons and
Yeah.
thingies and switches and
Yeah.
In my head, we all walk through the portal, and I just yell, "On your left!"
See, in my head, it's a pink companion cube.
As you all walk through, it is perpetually just after dusk, as the stars just appear in the sky, illuminated with silver bands between the stars, as you all are on a white sand beach and can feel the waves and hear them and look out into the reflective surface of the Silver Sea as you all arrive on Lunia, the main and first layer of Mount Celestia. As you look up, you can see the 6 layers, the 6 tiers of the mountain going up beyond and out of your sight. But you can see lights of the grand citadels of the various gods, lesser and otherwise, going up the mountain until it disappears out of your sight.
See, this is what I'm talking about. If they had all been like this, I might be a big fan of planar travel.
Also, above game, is anybody good aligned? Or is everybody neutral? Or evil?
Neutral for me.
Yeah, Henrietta's neutral. Farzi's neutral. Emrys is neutral. Fair's evil. Okay, yeah, okay, cool.
Fairs, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Above game.
Don't worry about it.
Above game, creatures of good alignment while they are on Mount Celestia gain the benefit of the Bless spell as long as they remain on the plane. In addition, they can
Happy for them.
In addition, they can cast the Lesser Restoration spell once per day for free.
So happy for them.
So happy.
I already have bless. I'm cool.
Same.
And the only structure you really see here is off probably about 1,000 feet is this tea house sitting up on some stilts. You can see 2 fireplaces and smoke coming up from it.
Could we inquire?
Emrys will be like, this is where I met the Planetars? That wasn't there last time. So yes.
Huh. Is it a thing where like when you're in a dream and it's like the stuff that you need to find just happens to be there?
Maybe?
Well, we don't know if this tea house is what we need to find necessarily.
But
Doesn't
Emmer
look like
said
they've
it
got
wasn't
a boat.
it wasn't there when he was here before. And anything different is good.
Barzu's got a question.
What?
What's the color of Henrietta's string?
Silver currently.
Silver.
Yep. The normal color.
Interesting.
Yeah, Dietrich will just walk up to the door of the tea house and make sure he vanishes Thirster
Okay.
before knocking politely on the door.
As you go to knock, the doors open.
Oh. Can I, yeah, walk in and kind of knock on the door as I walk in? Like, hello?
You see the interior of a smoky tea house. It's bigger on the inside. About 24 tables. 5 and more androgynous looking elves. Kind of hard to place. Long golden blonde hair. And they kind of look up. And their faces are inviting you inside. And as you walk inside, you have pretty good, I was going to say, you have pretty good passive perception.
Mm-hmm.
You can see their golden glowing eyes. And as you all step inside and adjust to the dimmer light, as the only light in this place is some glowing lanterns in the ceiling and the 2 fireplaces, there are a group of planetars and solars sitting at these tables on the floor drinking tea, listening to your eyes, this older human wizard sitting at the head of one of these tables just telling stories to these people.
Stand in the back and listen. I'm going to interrupt story hour.
He's talking about, the Red Dragon Army, things called the High Gods, talking about his exploits, listening to them asking questions. Kind of looks up past his green-brimmed hat with the silver trim and just looks up at you all. We have some new friends. Come on in. Have a seat, have some tea.
Hello. Kind of cautiously just find an empty table and grab a seat.
As you all sit down at this table, the plate all of a sudden appears with different pastries, cinnamon rolls and things, and you can hear the teapot fill up and start to boil and make itself.
Thank you, but I'm not hungry.
Henrietta will take a cup of tea.
Dietrich will just start munching on a cruller.
It's like the most delicious pastry you've ever tasted.
Oh. Oh.
Arzu's just gonna watch them.
The tea is tea. It's really, if you need sugar or cream or milk, however you normally drink it, if you think it, the cup will add it.
If I see someone else doing that, can I take an empty cup and just think whiskey?
Yeah. It'll appear in your cup.
Oh, I like this place.
The best part of waking up is whiskey in your cup.
When you started saying that, all I was thinking of was the cocaine T-Rex from Vine.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Sure. This entire place is enchanted. It's a little blinding. The elf servers are all... Hold up, I have the spell school right here. Are all... have some transmutation effect on them. And so does the human wizard.
Okay.
He'll finish his story and kind of look over. What brings you to the shores of the Silver Sea and Mount Celestia?
Hoping to procure some means of conveyance to go and visit the goddess of the moon.
Interesting.
Is that something you can help with?
Certainly.
Or do you know someone who can?
Oh,
Okay.
well, I know someone who can. I'll kind of like tap his nose. What all are your names, and for what purpose do you need to visit the moon goddess?
My name is Commodore Dietrich Balthazar. And if you're half the wizard you say you are, you know exactly why we need to see her. Because I'm assuming he can detect our curses.
I can, I just wanted to hear you say it. Some level of confirmation of what is going on.
Yes, several of us have been cursed by the devil. What are you gonna do?
I've met adventurers in worse predicaments.
I've met wizards in worse dining establishments.
What about dining establishments that can travel the plains? How many of those have you visited?
It's like a above game. It's like a restaurant at the end of the universe situation.
Kind of.
Yes. Hell yes.
He will go through and ask the rest of your names one by one.
I am Farzu Velen.
Henrietta Lupin.
You serve the matron, you serve Saloon, you serve the Sea Queen.
There's-
The wild mother, as he looks at Emerus, and you. Don't serve anyone, but your string is being pulled in multiple directions.
Multiple.
What is your name?
Fairfane.
Wonderful to meet you all.
And your name?
Oh, I am known by many names. Probably
What's
the
your
most
favorite?
Probably my favorite is Fizbin. But
Oh, you can see the strings too.
all the gods can see the strings if they choose to.
Oh.
You probably know me by a different name on your plane.
And what might that be?
The Platinum Dragon. Bahamut? Palantir? Those are what the people call me.
Farah will rise to their feet and bow. And then sit again.
I appreciate the formalities, but unnecessary here in this casual establishment of mine here. Is that highway, or did nibbles grow exponentially since Monday?
No, it's highway.
Oh, okay.
She actually came to me this time. Nibbles is on the floor staring at me like, how could you?
Nibbles. Okay, that's
Yes,
not what I
nibbles.
heard.
Nibbles.
It's not what I heard.
Yep. Understandable.
I was very confused.
He named his cat, his new kitten, after his D&D familiar, and it's
yes.
the cutest thing of all time in
But that's
history.
not what I heard come out of Ryron's mouth.
Oh,
Understandable.
They've grown exponentially since Monday.
Right.
Yep.
Don't worry, not that kind of stream, friends.
Yeah, right? We're not that crazy here.
oh,
Aw.
All the cat.
Yeah.
Chloe's over in her chair across the room.
Mm.
I have shadow butt.
Fluffy void.
You stare at the void, and the void stares back.
And then meows for treats.
Yes. So, if you're here, and I appeared to you, you obviously need transportation. Is there anything else? I can do for you?
If you have the power and inclination to remove our curses, it would be deeply appreciated.
yeah, if you're a god and you have that power, we can cut out the middleman, save ourselves a trip. Unless there's some other reason you think we really ought to go see Saloon. None of us are blessed with the gift of omniscience.
We don't really have full omniscience. That's a little bit overblown. We have omniscience to anything our followers are aware of
Ah,
or see.
All of you, all of the gods, including the ones of the lower planes.
To my knowledge, that's how it works, yes.
Interesting.
so Saloon should already know we're here
Yes.
and be expecting us.
Yes.
And perhaps even if you are able to remove our curses, it might be rude to keep her waiting.
I've seen her house, her gate. I've seen the signal. She probably still wants to talk regardless of what I do.
I would like to talk to her regardless of what you do, to be honest.
What would be your price for lifting our curse? And we can hear her offer as well, perhaps before we decide.
Oh, as soon as you leave, my tea house will disappear. It appeared to you in your moment of need. Although it could reappear. I don't know how it works. Entirely to mortals.
Well, we're glad it did in that case. So what is this transportation that you're offering? Is it a ship?
No. It's much better than a ship. I will remove your curses. All of them.
But sounded like there was a flood.
But I don't know what I want my price to be.
I can't imagine you have any use for gold or jewels or anything like that.
No.
I suppose we'd each owe you a favor.
Yes.
Well, I'm not cursed anymore. But I would help my friends.
You owe someone else.
Yeah, I might owe her a lot.
Hmm.
Dietrich looks down at his wrists, still kind of getting used to that there are no purple eyes on them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I appear to be rather oddly untethered at the moment. I'd be happy to do you a solid if it's something in my power to do.
Yes. It's acceptable. I do not ask for much. I have, as you can see, everything I need.
So what do you get for the god who has everything?
Precisely. That's the problem. And additionally, what do the people marked by fate, what can they give me?
Sorry, the
Oh.
opening couple of notes of that Kenku FM song sounded like Peter Gabriel, and I was just off on a whole. I'm like, oh, we're playing In Your Eyes now. That's what's happening.
In your eyes.
Your eyes, your eyes. Sorry.
I love me some Peter, I do love me some Peter Gabriel, so
No, it was
yeah.
great.
And the question I have back in return is, what can people marked by fate give me?
What, you wish to hold another one of my tethers? I
Not...
would prefer as few entanglements with the gods as possible. I've already learned my lesson once. I'm hesitant to owe someone some unspecified favor.
Then why don't we make it a specified favor?
Yes, name something specific so that I can decide. Fair just sort of puts their hand, like, rubbing at the spot where the mark was that Lolth gave them.
When your golden thread is cut, and fate finally lets you go, find me and tell me how the story ends.
Come back here to find you.
Not necessarily here, but find me and tell me how the story ends.
Fair just sort of looks like they're trying to figure out from every angle what this could possibly mean, and more importantly, how they're going to get fucked over if they say yes.
I love stories. I'm a storyteller. Any of these people here listening can tell you. Adding another one to my repertoire is one of the greatest gifts I can get.
And that would be all you would ask of me, my story.
Now, your all story ends. Yes.
All of us, all of our stories, this fight against the devil.
Yes.
Well, I suppose if I live to tell the tale, then I would be willing to tell it to you. If that's truly all you ask for.
That is truly all I will ask of you, yes.
Well then,
Even if you
I
don't
agree.
survive, come tell me the story.
if I am able to find you, not sure I will end up in a place that you would be likely to visit, but if you wish to hear the story that badly in the event of my failure,
I'm certain I can find you and make it work.
alright, then I agree. Lift the curse.
He pulls out, like, you know those, like, hand symbols you put on, like, your two fingers? And he'll pull them out of seemingly nowhere out of a coat pocket, kind of, like, rub them in a circle and, like, tap them. And as he does, it sounds like the most gorgeous cathedral bell as it rings through the space and this ring of golden light goes out. And you can feel the curse lifting.
I think Fair just sort of sits there, like, really tense and nervous and Like, they clearly expect this to hurt a lot. And they're kind of surprised when it doesn't. And then they just
Feels
kind
like
of...
a belly full of warm soup.
Does it live for all of us?
Yeah,
Just fair. Okay.
all three of you.
Thank you.
The Platinum Dragon, you said.
Yes.
I know a bit about you. Thing or two. Mostly I know that my father hates you. And that makes me like you quite a bit.
Not a fan of charity work, is he? Giving money away?
Oh goodness, no.
Oh, then I'm not surprised he doesn't like me.
Well, suppose if you'd ever deign to visit the material plane, you'll be welcomed in Roguewater. I'm kind of a big deal there now. I can say that.
I will take that under consideration. I only mostly control where this thing goes.
This thing
Yes, the tea house.
is this. Oh, I thought he meant like the tea house was the ship, and we were like on our way
No.
while having this conversation.
No.
I was like, what?
I only mostly control where this tea house goes.
Seems like something that pops up when and where it's needed.
Mostly, yes.
How do we find our way here? How do we find our way to Saluna from here?
Oh, I will... Well, I've already arranged for travel for you all.
When we walk out the door, I imagine we'll be there.
No, I'm not that good. I only control my plane, I guess that's what this is. If you look like around the room as this conversation's finishing and everything, you'll see that three of the servers behind the counter are no longer there. They'll be waiting for you outside. They will take you to the gates that you seek across the Silver Sea. I wish you the best of luck until we meet again then.
Thank you. Fair will probably be like the first one to get up and head for the door.
Hetty would follow.
We'll just kind of wave. Bye now. And as you all are outside, as you all head outside, there are 3 gorgeous, immaculate gold dragons there. You hear one of them speak in your heads. We ought to take you to the gates of the moon, across the sea.
Hetty just physically, like, flinches a little at the voice in her head that is not Frank.
We've slayed dragons, now we get to ride one.
Dietrich just stares in awe for a moment because this is like 10 times cooler than anything he imagined. And then I think when he kind of snaps to it, he'll help Fair onto one of them and climb up behind them.
It's actually a really interesting Dietrich question. Do you think he realizes at this moment, after seeing the gold dragons, that all of the servers in there were dragons?
No, not at all. No idea.
Oh,
It was just
man.
that good old visible servant spell, right, Dietrich?
Yeah. Like,
Or seen servant, rather.
And you all fly
no
off
idea.
into the moonlight across the Silver Sea on the back of 3 gold dragons. And we'll take our break there.
his balls get turned into flowers. I think.
Hi, everyone. We're back. I forgot to do my spiel at the top of the show, so I will do it now. Or I will just drop everything in chat now. If you guys want to support us for as little as $1 on Patreon, you can. We also have a bunch of other cool stuff at higher tiers. If you guys want to support us more, we really, really appreciate it. Also, we have a merch store on Fourth Wall Shop with some really cool stuff, and hopefully more stuff coming soon.
engage the algorithm.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Wee. All right, as you guys fly off. Across to the Silver Sea. Oh, wrong one. There we go. There we go. There is nothing for miles in any direction. And then the waves get a little rougher. And then finally coming into vision. You see the island. With a tower that seems to be holding the moon up into the sky.
That's the tower I saw.
Must be the place.
The dragons will gently land on the ground at the winding path up to the top of this temple. This is as far as we can take you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Dietrich has it in his head to ask them, do we tip you? And then something gives him the idea that no, like his money's no good here.
That is not necessary.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And they will fly off back wherever they came from. As you are left alone on the rock.
Fair will take a moment to draw the sword again, just to see if it's doing anything interesting.
It's glowing a little bit more than usual, with more of like that pale, cold glow of the moon rather than the light of the sun that it typically lights with.
Mhm.
Alright.
Is there like a path up or stairs
Yes,
up?
there's
Okay.
there's like a winding path up through kind of like the stone, basically kind of like cutbacks up to like the top of the ridge of this kind of pinnacle rock out in the ocean, and then kind of follows the top of the ridge line up to the entrance to the temple.
Okay. Fair will sheathe the sword again and just sort of look to Henrietta, since this is her domain.
Eddie's just doing very big breaths in and out. She's excited and scared, and she doesn't want to show either of those emotions, but the idea of actually speaking to her goddess instead of just getting pictograms is just great. Okay. Shall we go?
Ready when you are.
And she'll take one foot in front of the other.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Oh, I was doing Jack Frost, one foot in front of the other.
Oh, that also works, yeah.
Archie's just gonna like hover like an imp.
Alright. You all take the 25 minutes or so up along to the ridge. The literal moon floating in the sky above you, hanging from the string from the top of this temple. And you all approach this open structure. Columns make up the majority of this building. You can see glowing light inside at the center of this building in front of you. A gigantic basin that is reflecting the moonlight through the hole in the center of it all the way down through the rod, through the light into the pool, illuminating the entire inside in this brilliant blue and silver glow of the moon. You don't see anyone inside, but you feel invited in. Even though the moon is cold, somewhat unfeeling, this seems like a welcome space to you in this immediate moment here.
How far up is the moon?
It's a really good question. You have no idea. It seems like you could reach up and touch it, but it also seems like infinitely far away at the same time. Like a liminal distance from you.
Ready, we're walking?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. As you enter the space, the main floor here at the temple, you see the giant reflecting basin reflecting the moon that's full up in the sky. But as the light comes down through the center column in the center of it, around the edge of the pool is the moon reflected in all of its phases in the circle of it. In this immediate moment, what's Henrietta going to do?
Did you say they're on the floor?
Yeah, the basin is in the floor. Yeah.
But like the moon phases are on the floor.
Yeah, in the reflected in the water.
She will go stand in the water where the full moon would be.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay. You feel Saloon's presence in the room, but they haven't made themselves visible to you yet.
She'll close her eyes.
You hear a voice. Reflecting off the walls as if everywhere at once. You've heard my call before. And answered. And now you have answered again.
I have. What do you ask of me?
I do not have an ask, but a warning. There are those who would hurt the world blinded, hiding in the darkness. Who make their moves in the darkest nights, in the places where light can't reach.
Is that a warning for just me or me and my companions?
Your world has united. They have held off the threat. But the darkest moments, the ones I cannot illuminate, are yet to come from the places I cannot be.
Okay. Are we to go to those places for you?
I believe that the danger will find your companions. They do not need to go looking. This darkness, it will find them.
I shall share with them your message and have them take heed.
At this point, you all will see in the beam of moonlight this older elven woman with the beam of light making her hair, basically, and kind of flows out to the ground as the Moon Maiden will appear for the first time. You all have done well to stem the tide. Of darkness, of evil. But there are things even hidden from the gods that have revealed themselves to you.
Are you speaking of the Lich Vecna, perhaps?
He has gone beyond my sight.
Guess we'll see if he stays there.
He is no longer in the wheel of the cosmos. I am talking about those that would seek power, cosmic power. Who would benefit from being unbound. As dangerous as it is, the crown holds them in check. They may seek to fill the void if it is destroyed.
He says you guys don't want to see him. He looks like a fool.
Ow.
Hmm. And how are we to recover the eyes without destroying the crown?
That I do not know. Its magics are beyond me, as it was crafted by evil for evil.
So you want us to leave the crown intact, so that it can keep the rest of the evil gods at bay.
Yes. Or be prepared to face the threats of whatever comes after it is destroyed.
And the Lord of the Nine Hells, shall we let him live as well?
She looks down at Dietrich, landing in the water, but not like disturbing it at all, like slipping through it. In the great cosmos, evil, lawful, and chaotic are always at war, keeping each other in check. If you destroy him in his own plane, the scales will be tipped.
Would that not be in the favor of the gods of this plane?
I wish nothing more than for my foes and my sister to suffer a defeat as great as that one. But to hand a victory to those of the Abyss is just as dangerous.
Oh, you speak of the balance between the Abyss and the Hells.
Yes.
So we should try to leave him alive with his crown. Just try to take all of the eyes out of the crown. so he can't have dominion over other gods anymore.
If
But still,
possible, that
Hmm.
would leave the balance of the cosmos intact, and the threat would subside.
I haven't the foggiest idea how we're going to achieve that, but you have my word, we'll try.
Fair will step forward and bow to her and just say, I must thank you, my lady, for showing me the oncoming horde of undead so that we could give Merriman some notice. And if you would be willing to answer another question for me.
Those who seek to use the cover of night must be aware of my wrath.
Where is Lolth's eye? She does not possess it, nor does the Lord of the Nine Hells.
You see, like, her mind turning. Trying to find the answer if it's underneath the moonlight somewhere. It is not under the moon. But I can sense it in the upper planes.
Here on this one.
No.
The Beastlands, then.
On the Great Wheel. That would be closer to the answer.
What's the next plane after that on the wheel? I'm never paid much attention to this part in the books.
The Beastlands in the Great Wheel cosmology, I think everybody with proficiency with religion would know, sit between Elysium on one side and Arborea on the other. Do you imagine they're probably talking about potentially Arborea?
Hmm. And what god is in Arborea? I mean, Dietrich doesn't know. I just thought we were just asking about that.
Yeah, above game. Several, actually, it's mostly home to a bunch of the greater celestials, like Devas and such, and Holophants, and, it's where the Summer Eladrin are from.
Mm-hmm.
It's also home to Corellian and then some of the other I think it's home to the Olympus Temple as well. As well as Timora.
Thank you for the information. A bit out of our way, but something I wouldn't mind getting my hands on.
And what was the name of that plane again? Sorry.
I will copy and paste it in chat for you. I understand what may be good for cosmology and for the gods may not be in your best interest, but I thought you all deserved to be informed with what you have done.
It is hard to make the right decisions without knowing the full picture, so I thank you for that.
If these gods are unchecked, some of the more brash of these upper planes may unfortunately be quick to act. Lucky for you, I do not think my sister is dumb enough to try anything. But what is our... She looks at a loss for words for a second. There is no material plane, there is no you-all without the quarrel of the gods. And some of the others are always quick to try to push the world off the knife's edge one way or the other. Balance downright impossible.
Thank you for bringing these matters to our attention and for finally having words with me.
I wish they were under better circumstances.
I do as well,
As
but
all who live to see such times do.
well, we did come with another matter to ask you about, but that seems to have been taken care of already.
I sense the grace of the Platinum Dragon upon you. I am not surprised he appeared to you all, given the affliction that was placed upon you.
It's also how we got here.
Yes. Yes, it was.
So we have to go to a different plane of existence to find I.
If you seek it, yes.
Is there a way that you could help us get? Is there a way that you can help us get to that plane?
My ability is limited to places where the moon reaches. And on a plane where there is eternal sun, the moon does not reach.
Eternal sun.
I was going to say that's fair, but apparently that's fair.
Fair ages another 3D 5 years or something.
It's a brand new joke for Hetty.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh wow, I rolled triple fives. There you go. 15 years.
Yeah. But again, that's like Elvish daylight savings, so.
Yeah.
Well, eternal sun does sound unpleasant.
I agree.
But it will be necessary to destroy all of the eyes and not the crown.
Are the eyes easy to destroy?
I've never destroyed one.
Hmm.
You've never destroyed one or you've never tried. Those are two drastically different things.
Haven't had one to experiment with.
They've never fallen into the hands of one of my followers to destroy.
Well, if it wouldn't be going too far out of our way to get Lolth's, I'd at least like to get my hands on it. From there, we can attempt science.
Science is great.
And Saloon just slowly starts fading back into the moonbeam while you guys are having this conversation.
Oh. Well, as a matter of Lolth's own safety, she had her eye hidden, even from herself, so that the Lord of the Nine Hells couldn't get it. and I believe she's asked us to see if we can locate it. But I don't think she wants it back, not until he's gone. And I'm not sure it's a good idea for us to walk into hell with it either.
That's true.
I mean, I kind of think it's good that we know where it is. But maybe we shouldn't go after it just yet.
But also, Umberly wishes you to destroy hers, and we know that it is part of the crown now.
That we do know, yes.
And we don't know what it would take to break the eye.
Are you suggesting we experiment on Wolf's eye? I don't imagine Wolf would appreciate that.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
I do believe that is exactly what Fair is saying.
Well, if we destroy it, then you're prepared to deal with whatever consequences she has in store for you.
What's she
And
going to
I'm
do? Kill me?
Dietrich just winks and grins and says, "Fair enough."
And he means that in every sense of the words.
Yeah. It's like fair enough, but with a comma. Fair enough.
Hey.
And that's our safe word.
It's not Shenga.
No, it's just
Uh,
fair enough.
Yup.
You all have the strangest sensation of like floating all of a sudden. Like your body's weightless a little bit. As your vision kind of rolls to silver.
This is all of us?
Yeah, this is all of you.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody can make the saving throw on this because she gets like a plus 12 her saving throws when she's in her realm. And you all wake up flat on your backs on the sand. Back on the beaches on the first plane of Mount Celestia.
I'm curious, what would it be?
With the plus 12,
Yeah.
38 wisdom.
Wisdom?
38.
I can get most of the way.
A natural 20 would get me a 23.
I think the closest, if Emrys gets a nat 20, he's at a 32. He would need a 6 on a d6.
So what happens to us?
You wake up back on the beaches of Lunia, the first layer of Mount
Her
Celestia.
business ended and she yeeted us out.
Yep.
Not unexpected. Well, that was a lot.
Did you get the answers you were looking for? Is that everything you thought it would be?
In some ways, yes. I knew that it wasn't going to be like a, you know, bubbly friendship conversation. That's not what we do, either of us. Um, I guess I was just a little surprised that instead of just having already communicated with Fair, um, that she felt the need to communicate with me to give a message to you guys. I'm not complaining. I love seeing you guys. This has been amazing. I was just thought maybe there would be a little more directed at me, but that's fine. That's, at least again, after months and months of nothing, at least coming home and finding Frank and having visions has been a nice piece of normalcy. And you know that I'm not generally one for normalcy.
Oh, we're so glad you're okay.
Indeed.
As I'm glad you all are okay. It is just an experience. Kind of a blur, though. Like I said, it was just a very dark hole, which you would think I would like. But being cut off from all the magic, all of the communication, all of the, like I said, you said you tried. I never got anything. It was just time of darkness and solitude, which I didn't ask for.
Well, we tried and didn't hear anything, and then as the war progressed and we got closer to liberating Alarion, we had heard that prisoners had been taken and asked the Dust King about it a little bit and kind of put two and two together and figured you were one of them. And when we finally had the city and were able to negotiate a peace, we made sure to negotiate for their release. And it sounds a bit morbid, but I'm very glad they didn't kill you.
Me too. As much as I like playing with the undead, I don't want to be one. But, just as everything else with Saloon, I just take it as something necessary for my progression. Giving me offering me the power with Frank, offering me, showing me the visions of that first stone, how I met you all, and eventually it got me to the library, and, those adventures. So it's all just stepping stones at this point, things we go through.
Eventually, it got you here. I never thought I'd be in a place like this.
I never thought I'd hear words from her, so, that's huzzah!
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose this is the part where Emerus pulls out his trusty cube and zaps us all back home.
Just whip it out.
Just whip it out.
don't want to have a conversation with Pelor 2 just to be safe? Okay. Lock the cube in the material
Do
plane.
we
I'll lock it-
feel that we need to? Or,
Yeah, that's...
like,
Yeah, I don't know if you guys do or not.
We got rid of the curse, and we
Yeah.
have to go all the way to
Yeah,
Elysium to talk to him.
That's true.
yeah, like our objective was to get rid of the curse. I don't know that we were planning on
Yeah.
like going around to every god and asking them to weigh in.
Well,
And
the two... Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Cool. He will lock it into the material plane.
Engaging chevrons.
Yep. Stargate it. And where on the material plane would you like to go?
well, I guess I would ask. I guess
To
both in and
Henrietta
above
home?
game.
Yeah, where's Henrietta
I
want to
guess-
go?
Yeah.
Well, both in and above game. Does Henrietta want to go home, or does Henrietta want to come to Arborea with us?
Megs wants to come to Arborea. Henny would probably also like to go to Arborea. Meg's mom, however,
Mm.
will probably blow a fucking gasket if I don't go next Wednesday.
Mm.
In the time I have not been with you guys, Wednesdays have been the sleepover. Megan and the puppy sleep over with mom and have girls' night.
Mm.
So the fact that I was not out with people and opted to
Oh, yeah.
stay here
Mm.
in my computer room again.
Ah,
Mm.
Hmm.
I
well,
don't particularly want to deal with the wrath of my mother as much as I love playing with you guys.
Well, we can do our
totally
Arborean-
understandable.
There's some other material plane stuff. We can do our Arborea in like 2 weeks. Take care of some material plane stuff and then bounce.
If you can make it 3, I'll do it.
Okay. It's a deal.
You guys can have me for 1 Wednesday a month.
Okay. All right.
I
So,
guess we'll
Henrietta's
Henrietta
Hollow it
home.
is. Yeah. And you will see your treehouse, your hollow, appear through the gate as you all walk through it.
bunch of dead plants. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was such a hassle.
I imagine that they've like started to regrow just a little bit, so it's like a finely manicured lawn for now.
Yeah. Like the flower perks up like right as Fair walks out and dies again.
How long have we been gone for?
About 4 hours.
About 4 hours in the plane too.
Yeah, about 4 hours total. Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
No
No
time
timey-wimey
difference.
nonsense.
No
Yeah.
timey-wimey bullshit.
No weird soup.
Yep.
Just regular soup.
Aw. Well, it was good to see you again. And we'll let you know when we're getting ready to head to Arborea.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. I have some things to take care of here. You guys have some things to take care of. You can reach me now. Promise.
This thing still works. Thanks for this, by the way. It's been incredibly useful. You have no idea.
You're so welcome.
But I do think, fair. I do think we have access, like, to the actual spell now. If you want this back,
Hmm.
do you have sending?
I do now. I picked that up last time, I believe.
Also, Farzu still has 2 names in his book left, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
sending now.
So I was thinking, if we have the spell, we could give Henrietta her wand back.
Mhm.
Yes.
If Henrietta doesn't have the spell.
I don't.
Thanks for letting me borrow this.
You're welcome.
And, yeah, make sure you sign Farzu's book while we're here. It'll let us get in touch with you even easier.
Provide another option.
That doesn't waste spell slots.
Yeah. I could do it for free.
Oh, talking to Henrietta is not a waste.
Why, thank you, Fair.
Heard so much about you. Interesting to finally meet you.
I wish I felt that interesting, but thank you nonetheless.
You two have a lot in common. I know it doesn't look it, but you're both collectors. After a fashion.
I can see that.
Dietrich's
Sir,
like, you two have a lot in common, and they both look at Dietrich and they both have, like, black eyeliner. Sorry.
is there anything or anyone you guys want to check in on that you maybe can't sending to?
Sorry, the
Audio
feed
got
cut out
weird.
for me on my.
Yeah, it was.
Is there anyone or anything that you guys, any of you would like to check in on that you can't sending to?
Um. Not off the top of my head.
Okay, it's just one of the tricks I've learned in our away time.
Are you talking about scrying? Or-
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I also have scrying.
Okay.
Okay. Back to Emrys's house, the Archdruid's house.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay.
Have
Yeah.
you paid the park? Have you gotten the parking validated on your boat recently? Do we need to pick that up at some point?
Oh, I probably should. It's been sitting there in Strilling
Really?
Harbor for weeks.
Oh yes, Henrietta and Dietrich's got a ship now, and if you enjoy spending time with the undead, then you'll enjoy the crew he's amassed as well.
It's not much, just a skeleton crew. And he'll wink again.
There's a ship. You just said Emrys has a house. There's you guys have done so much.
Oh,
Well,
I can
we've been
create
busy.
a
He's like,
house,
I'm the
too.
archdruid of all of the circles now.
Well, shit. Good job, buddy.
I get a lot of mail and Dietrich sorts it for me.
Badly.
I'd expect
Uh.
nothing less.
No, and yeah, and I have a ship. I'm like a real pirate captain now, and just
I also noticed your lack of an eyeball.
yes. Well, after the war was over, which we helped win, I represented Roguewater at the peace talks and negotiated some very favorable trade deals that are probably going to make everybody rich. And Willie was very happy about that, and I appear to be eyeless for the time being.
It's an interesting way to phrase that.
Well, save for whatever the Platinum Dragon will ask of you in the future. Did you get a dragon tattoo? To mark
Who,
your unfulfilled
me?
promise. Yes, did you get a dragon tattoo to mark your unfulfilled promise to him? Because that would be badass.
That would be pretty badass. But no, I don't see anything. You can give me a more thorough inspection later.
Sure.
I'd quite enjoy being the tiefling with the dragon tattoo.
You've also noticed that, or maybe not, that Henrietta's wearing a robe, like actual clothing, so her tattoo's gone.
Above game, I can't remember. Or no, Henrietta wasn't with us.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was wearing or what I looked like when we were with Henrietta.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I wasn't as pale.
Pale. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think that's would be the one thing. Because Farzu is really pale now.
I think you had the Sentinel shield back then.
I've had the Sentinel shield since like session 2
Yeah.
and have not gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
I love that thing. But certainly like shinier armor than you last saw him in. He's got a different sword.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't, the sword, he can just vanish
Nope.
at a moment's notice, and it reappears when he wants it to. So you might not have ever even seen the sword.
And it seemed, yeah. I was gonna say, if he does appear the sword, it looks like blood is always dripping down to the handle, but never coming off. No matter what
Oh.
direction he holds it in.
Interesting. I did acquire some new pets.
Oh,
Would you like to see?
Well,
of
yeah.
What
course.
sorts of pets?
Hetty will fish around in her bag and she'll pull out a bronze griffin statuette. Little tiny. And she'll kneel down and she'll place it on the ground. And if you use an action to speak the command word, I don't know what the command word is. Bird. I don't know.
Brib.
Brib. And this little statue grows into a full-size griffin. And I just tell it, be a pretty bird. And it's friendly to all of us. And if I would tell it to attack, it would. And it exists for 6 hours. And then I can't use it again for 5 days.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll just hang out for a little while. Play fetch with the griffin. Catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when the sun starts going down, we'll all teleport back home.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And Hetty will just head back inside with Frank.
Oh. Okay. And you all are gonna take a long rest in the house? Sounds good. You all go to the bedrooms. In the
Farzu
art-
still casts his mansion.
Oh, you stay in your mansion? Okay.
Yeah.
Does Fair locate a tattoo on me?
No.
Okay.
Muhammad did not put a tattoo on you.
I'm a little bit sad.
And I guess while we're checking, did Fair get one either?
No, Bear did not get one either. And you all drift to sleep as you start, or rather, get a long rest in.
But we're not long resting together, so you guys don't get to see Hetty's cool new tricks she can do. That has to wait.
Dietrich,
Yes.
in your sleep, in your dreams, you feel like you're floating on the waves. You're back in the ocean, up and down, as your vision comes clear into a fog, bobbing up and down in the ocean. You see a ship, the shadow of it coming out of the fog bank towards you. As it comes into your vision, the ship is made of bone and sinew. The sails made of taunt, dried skin. A hook almost pulls you up onto the ship in an instant, and you're face to face with half skeleton, half flesh of this captain, barnacles hanging off of his hat and everything. Are you challenging me?
Parlay.
And he grabs your
Yeah.
hand, puts something in it, closes it, and you wake up in the morning. Sorry. He pushes you off the ship as he puts it in your hand, and you fall back into the water. You awake in the morning. You hit the water, you wake up. You feel like you're in a pool of your own sweat off of your body as you wake up. But you quickly realize it is salt water, and you can feel a piece of paper in your hand. It's the black spot. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna just do some pirate shit for a couple weeks until
Yep.
Meg's ready. Hell
Yep.
yeah, I'm so excited.
Does Fair notice all the salt water?
Yeah, you wake up in a pool of salt water that you have no idea how it got there, Fair. There's only one undead pirate captain on the high seas, and he is not fucking happy.
Do I know who it is?
There are rumors of a thing called the Dead Ship that is shipped entirely by the damned and dead souls that drowned mutineers and the like. You have a feeling that is what you just encountered as you wake up.
Oh my god, a ship crewed by skeletons? That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Do I have any idea where to find this?
The rumors always... We'll talk about this, but the rumors always say it will find you. If you're marked, it will find you. All right, we're going to go raid Insomniac Knights, who are playing Curse of Strahd. And we will see you all Monday for more Chroma Dynasty, and then back with some pirate stuff next week.
Pirates,
The real Curse of Strahd was the friends we made along the way.
Yep. All right. Peace out.